welcome to Game 2gether, your destination for all things tabletop games right here on WDTN+. I'm Ben Jetron. With me today, as always, is Joe Gurnick. Joe, how we doing?
I'm doing okay.
All right.
I have a problem, unfortunately.
Oh, no. What's going on?
I have to make a correction.
Oh, no. It's episode second thing, and we already have to make a correction. What's going on? What do you got?
Some friends and family reached out to me, and they said I'm a liar. I don't own 20 games.
I'm guessing it's more.
I made a count. I have 63 games.
Look at you. That's much. See, when you said 20 in the first episode, I was like, that seems low for someone who talks as much games as I do. Like with me, 20 felt low.
I legitimately was just doing a rough guess. I knew it was more, but I didn't think it was going to be that much more. So 7 expansions as well. So if you want to make it to an even 70, there you go.
You could do that. There you go. Well, as you know, we are all things tabletop gaming here, and a large genre of that is role-playing games. So there is one major person that a lot of people will thank for the creation of that as far back as it goes. Joe, who's that?
That is Gary Gygax, the guy who made this fun little series called Dungeons and Dragons, or AD&D for this edition. People might know it better.
There's his name on the cover. And yeah, there's that.
That one.
That's the newest one, 5th edition.
For now.
For now. That's true.
But yeah, he made or helped make Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, D&D as people like to call it.
Back in 1974.
Back in 1974.
Was when the original, was invented. Which, man, the culture behind that to now, the shift is insane. Because back in the day, like, I don't know, maybe depending on the age of where our viewers are at right now, it's just like back in the day, that was like it was like demonized or whatever. Like it was all like anyone who played Dungeons and Dragons were all like devil worshippers or something like that.
Yeah, that fun little nifty
satanic
panic.
Yeah, now it's devil worship, but we're cool with it.
I mean, they made a whole movie for it. It came out. Was that 2023, 2024?
I think 23. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole big D&D movie.
But this Sunday, so 2 days after this episode premieres, this Sunday would actually be Gary Gygax's birthday.
Yeah, he'd be 87.
He would be 87. Unfortunately, he did pass away in 2008 at the age of 69.
But thanks to Gary Gygax, his the company TSR, which is now Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro, and just the people who co-wrote it and played all these games with him, thanks to that, we have things like D&D. We have everything that came after it.
Yeah, because D&D was kind of like a launching point for... And I mean, D&D even had its own launching points that even Gary Gygax himself was working on, like Chainmail and stuff that kind of launched up to what the role-playing scene kind of became. And then, obviously, D&D was the birthplace of every other RPG you've ever seen under the sun. So, you know, what are we... If maybe you haven't played D&D, maybe you don't know what we're talking about. So... It's obviously it's going to be a role-playing game where you're going to make your own character based on, Joe had that book a second ago. Yeah. So any of these books will show you, like, you know, there's going to be classes that you can pick from. There's, you know, different species, races you can pick from, like elves and dwarves and all that kind of stuff, depending on your setting and depending on what you're doing. And then you have a dungeon master who's taking maybe 1, maybe 5 players or so, you know, however many you feel comfortable with.
Up to 8, maybe?
Yeah, maybe up to 8. God, I've never had a group that big.
I don't recommend it.
But taking a group and then taking them through a narrative journey, whether that's one that the Dungeon Master made on their own or whether that's a pre-established, already written one. And it's just a really nice, you know, social gathering to, you know, come together maybe once a week, once a month or something, you know, however often you feel like. And just rolling dice and having a good time.
And it's that idea, that big idea of, I don't want to say make-believe, but it is a little bit of that. It's make-believe.
Oh, it's a ton of that.
you can go as advanced as you want as having the board with the miniatures and the terrain, but you can also just sit down around a table and play with the theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind, yeah.
And just enjoy that beauty of shared storytelling, enjoying time with each other. Because it really is. It's having fun together. I know some people will use it as an excuse to be therapy or social time or whatever, but it really is. It's getting time to have fun with friends. And I mean, what was your first game that you ever did that's a tabletop RPG?
So technically, if we go back to like my childhood, I briefly played in some kind of Dungeons and Dragons game, like once, maybe twice, and I could not tell you for the life of me like what actually partook in it. But if you were to ask me like what my real, like as an adult, like what my first RPG was when I stepped into it, is when I was in college, I actually got into this right here, which is the Pathfinder role-playing game, which is by Paizo. So this is very similar to Dungeons and Dragons, maybe 3.75 kind of edition. That's not version 6.
No, I think it's official the second edition for Pathfinder now. But
well, yeah, the Pathfinder's up to 2, but this is the first edition, and this is probably my favorite as far as the 2 go, because I haven't delved too much into the second one. But what was yours?
Dungeons and Dragons, of course.
Yeah, classic.
It was 3.5 edition. I remember playing at my local library, and I was a blue wizard, whatever that means. So I guess I'm that guy in the book.
Yeah, you're that guy.
Except I didn't know how to cast spells or buy materials or do any of that. So
some of it's a little rulesy.
It's a bit rulesy.
Depending on the system, I suppose.
I very quickly switched to playing a fighter, and that was a much better time.
Because I know I can punch. We know that much.
Punching so much easier.
So why should someone try RPGs? I tell people that it's a social experience, both like and unlike any other. So it's like many other games that you've played, maybe with your friends, maybe with your family, because you're gathering around with your loved ones or whoever you want to hang out with, and you're sharing that gaming experience together. You're problem solving. You're having fun. So that's the ways that it's like. But it's unlike your traditional board game, say like Monopoly Night. It's unlike that in the sense that you guys are playing as characters that you've made yourselves. Maybe you're doing fun voices as you're like interacting with each other. You're writing a narrative story that you're all going to share together, which is something that's really special and really cool. Like I love doing that with friends. I've seen families that do like RPGs together that bond over that, and it's a great. I mean, whoever you're doing that with, it can be a great bonding experience.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always been that bonding experience. My best friends is who I love to play D&D with, and any tabletop RPG for that matter, because why wouldn't you want to share that time of building a story, building relationships?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people call it the forever DM, but I tend to be that person who's the dungeon master, creating a story, crafting it, but then...
Where are you, Joe? I don't see you.
I'm
there
right
you
here.
are. Oh, there you
But being that person that crafts the story, but lets the players take away whatever they can.
Right.
There's always that joke of, oh, sure, I made the story, but everyone else took it away from you. And you can be like, oh, we're going to go, you start in this place, and everyone goes, cool, we're going to go over there.
Yeah, we go different direction. Man, we should do a whole episode just on game mastering at some point. Because that's definitely, you and I have done enough of it. Have been both player and GM. That's its own discussion, honestly. But that would be great.
I think we can definitely do one.
But there's also, if we've talked Pathfinder, we've talked Dungeons and Dragons. There's tons of other genres. There's an RPG. I promise you, there's an RPG for everything that you can think of. If there's something you're interested in, it exists. I have a few right here, real quick. So if you love pirates, we've got 7th Sea. We love that. If you love the apocalypse, the post-apocalypse, you got Fallout.
Just
there's
like the video game.
Yep, or the video game. There's sci-fi. We've got Starfinder. There's a ton of other ones.
That's just Pathfinder, but space, right?
Yeah, that is the same company even too. So. There's stuff. And then there's like kooky, crazy stuff too. Like if you just love the 70s. I got Spirit of 77 right here. This is an awesome role-playing game, by the way. This is super easy, super fun. And it's basically just like every 70s movie or TV show you've ever seen, but like as a role-playing game. And it's very thematically appropriate for it. It's great. So there's all these different genres. There's all these different ways that you can play, but maybe it's not for everybody because, I've had people who have come to me and been like, I've tried it. It's not for me. But sometimes... if you've tried it once, I tell people give it a second shot, but with different people.
And you don't have to do the big, long,
4 different systems.
15 million year campaign either. You could do one-shots.
Oh, yeah.
I love doing one-shots. The ones that are like, people call them one-page one-shots, where it's like your rules are all on that single page, and then your character's maybe on a note card.
Yeah, easy. It's just very simple. The RPGs can be as rules heavy or rules light as you want. Because as I was just going through these, like Pathfinder, very rules heavy. Not very rules heavy, but I'd say on the higher scale of like what I brought. Spirit of 77, stupidly light. It's very simple, very easy to get into. And even Dungeons and Dragons on its own, from like the 1st edition all the way to like 5th edition, are completely different, almost totally different as far as like rules intensive.
So we don't have much time left before we have to go to the break, but I want to preview what we're talking about next. And have you, and I'll ask you the question, have you done an RPG at a convention?
Yes. Both as a player and a GM.
And what has that experience been like for you?
Very fun, because it's meeting, at that point you're meeting strangers and you're gathering those people together, and you're still trying to, and you're making that into a fun time. So Gary Gygax, the guy we were talking about earlier, he actually founded a convention all about tabletop RPGs, tabletop gaming, which is Gen Con, which is what we're going to talk about when we come back from the break.
Yeah. So, and just to be sure, Gen Con. What does that stand for?
So that's it's short for Geneva, because it was found in Lake Geneva in Wisconsin. And we'll get to the rest of that when we come back.
But it's not in Geneva.
It's not. No. It's here in the U.S., I promise.
All right. Sounds good.
Hello and welcome back to Game Together, your destination for tabletop games on WDTN+. Ben is back, Joe is back. Actually, Sartaj isn't here. Joe, where's Sartaj?
His location got compromised.
Secure location that he's remoting in from got compromised, so he's in hiding currently, but he'll be back for the next one.
Yeah, he should be back. We're working on a new secure location for him.
So before the break, we were talking about RPGs and role-playing games, and actually one thing that I wanted to throw in that didn't have time for quite, just because we're so constrained by time. You know how much time we could talk about RPGs, Joe? One thing I did want to say, if you are new and you are considering like wanting to try it out, I would recommend finding somebody or having somebody who's experienced with it to be able to be your game master for, say, like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of game. Like, if you know somebody who's done it before, see if they'll be your GM and just kind of take that step with it if you have that option. If you don't, just have a group that's all willing to stumble through it together.
So you're trying to
stumble together.
You're trying to force people to be forever DMs.
No, just to try it out.
I don't believe you.
Okay, that's a slippery slope. As another forever GM, I know.
Do you think Sartaj is a forever DM?
I don't know. I don't think I've talked about many RPGs with Sartaj, so actually I don't know.
Maybe he's a forever paladin.
He does seem like a paladin type. All right, real quick, what class are you when you normally play? Are you normally like a wizard?
No, I'm normally I started loving rogue for a long time, but now I play mostly cleric or warlock, depending on
those are good.
Who I want to be beholden to.
I like that.
Yeah.
Have I told you what my main class is, or do you want to guess?
I feel like you're someone who likes to play like something on the mechanical side. Maybe like a almost that bard or
he got it first thing. Bards aren't that mechanical.
Well, I was trying to think of
just come in with a funny voice and a musical instrument.
No, I was thinking of I don't remember the class, but it's the mechanical wizard in D&D.
Like an artificer?
Yeah, artificer.
Artificer, yeah.
It's a hard word.
That's too much brain for me, man.
Too much brain.
I have some brain for games, but once I if I have to make my character sheet like 3 pages long, like I'm out. Like if I have those characters because I've done it before. But then I'm like, man, it'd be so much easier if I was just a fighter and I was just punching things. Anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're done talking about D&D.
Yes,
for the moment.
moving on.
For the moment. We might talk about it later, but what we're talking about now is Gen Con.
Gen Con.
You've been there several years, right?
Yes. So Gen Con has been going on. This is going to be the 58th year
That's
for 2025. This is going to be the 58th year for Gen Con. And this is for me, this is going to be my 10th year.
10
so
years.
If I've done my math right, I might not have, but I'm pretty sure when I counted this morning that this would be my 10th year that I'd be going. So I'm excited for that. It's something I've done every year since I think 2015 was my first one. And the reason that would be my 10th and not my 11th is because there wasn't one in 2020.
I made the joke that 10 years, that's if you're married to someone or dating someone, that's like your 10
Yeah,
anniversary.
I am married to Gen Con. So yeah, you're correct. That would be my 10. I'm hoping, so I have to get something out of 10 when I go there.
You could get like a tin of Altoids that holds dice.
A tin of Alto. Yeah, maybe. Well, there are dice that come in a tin. All right, that'll work.
There you go.
But this is the biggest tabletop gaming convention in North America. It would be in the world, except there's unfortunately Spiel in Germany, which is definitely the biggest one by far. But as far as North America goes, this is the biggest tabletop gaming convention. And last year they hit record attendance, 71,000 attendees. They've got over 540 exhibitors and over 24,000 scheduled events that they had that you could go and play. And you're wondering, where is this? Is this a place where I could go? Is this a
it's like
place
Geneva,
that's
right?
reasonable? No, that's where it started. Good catch. It did start by Gary Gygax, who started it as like a basement gathering in 1967 in Lake Geneva near Wisconsin. So the name Gen Con comes from Lake Geneva, although it is also a play on like the Geneva Convention. But actually, it has now moved to Indianapolis, Indiana. So if you're here in the Miami Valley or you're not too far off, you can absolutely go to this because, I've seen that guy actually. One of the years I've gone. He goes there every year and he dresses as Wario. It's so great. But they do this convention every year, and it's in Indianapolis every year.
The Lucas Oil Stadium, right?
They use the convention center and they use Lucas Oil. They actually expanded sometime in the past 10 years, I think.
I mean, 71,000 people is a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's packed.
That's
packed
most of the
house.
population of Dayton.
Yeah, that would just be here. I've met people at Gen Con from all over the world. Gen Con brings in people from everywhere, and it's a big game show, trade show, kind of like when you went to Origins. There's going to be people there that are selling their games, that are selling you on their games, that want you to try new stuff out. But then there's just a ton of people who play the games, and they're just there to have fun and like run events and maybe meet new people or just meet people who are like also wanting to get into this game. There's all sorts of stuff you can do there. There's really something for everybody there.
And I'll even hijack you for the second.
Yeah.
In terms of Origins, people at Origins they don't call it mini Gen Con, but they call it like the precursor event. So you can preview games at Origins, but like pre-order it there and then pick it up at Gen Con. I've heard about people who do that.
Okay. I mean, that's smart. That makes sense, honestly. I've had a lot of people that have compared other gaming conventions that they've been to, and then they compare it to the size of Gen Con. Like they just figure out like, okay, if I went to Adepticon in March, like how many Gen Cons is that? It's like, well, it's like a 1/7 of a Gen Con or like a 1/4 of a Gen Con, or, like people will compare it to that.
You're thinking
it's
it's going to be
one.
2x or 3x, but it's really quarter, half.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, what fraction of Gen Con is this? Because honestly, you can imagine the scale of Gen Con, and you can't truly imagine it until you're there.
As someone who's like from Chicago, so I get like big conventions and stuff. What is it like going here? What do you do at Gen Con, man? Do you just walk around aimlessly looking at the mix of everything, or can you actually do something there besides shop?
That's a good question. So for somebody who's never been, I said earlier, and I'll always say it. There's absolutely everything that you can do at Gen Con. So there's my schedule, for instance, is jam packed with events. So for the most part, I'm just going to be going from event to event to event with maybe food in between. But honestly, you could just go there and walk around. They have the biggest exhibit hall I've ever seen for any convention. And I've been to some big conventions, but this is the biggest one by far, and it is slam packed to the brim with different shops that you can check out that have different games, gaming accessories, all sorts of different stuff. And people will be doing demos right there at their booth. So if you wanted to I like to give this as a suggestion if someone who's never gone, go for like one day. Don't schedule any events unless you find something online that you really want to check out and you want to set, and then by all means go for it. but like go for one day and just walk the exhibit hall and walk the different hallways that are connected to the exhibit hall that do have events going on, and just like get a vibe for the place. Because that was what I did the first years. I just went like for a single day and I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is awesome. And then the next year, I think I went 2 days where I did like 1 day of walking around, and then I did 1 day of events. And then ever since then, I've been going all 4 days, because like it's a weekend long event starting from Thursday going to a Sunday. This year it's going to be, well, when this episode drops, it'll be a week out. So it's going to be July 31st through August 3rd this year, and I'm definitely going. So you'll definitely get you'll get everything. Joe, you're going to be with me to help me out, but we're gonna cover everything while we're there.
Can you still go for 4 days?
Okay, so this year, no, because at this point we're close enough off that they've sold out of Friday, Saturday, and 4-day badges. So if you still want to go, if you're hearing this episode and you're like, God, I really want to check this out, Thursday or Sunday. Thursday is a busy day, but it's a good day because that's like the very start of the convention. So everyone's still high energy. Everyone's hyped up. Sunday's a very chill day. So
It's like that for every convention, though.
Yeah.
Sunday's the chill day.
Yeah. And you could take that as a bonus or a minus, depending how you look at it. If you want that like high energy, like I want to go, I would definitely recommend Friday or Saturday, but that's why those days are sold out, because those are popular days. But Thursday would be a pretty good indicator too, because everyone would be fresh, ready to start. They've been waiting for this, they're excited. So if you want that energy, I would suggest going like Thursday. Truly, I would suggest Friday or Saturday, because those are the best days where most of the events are happening. But if you wanted a chill environment, just to, walk around and everyone's, very tired, very chill, Sunday is a great day for that, because there's a lot of people that are gone. And there's a lot of people and then everyone else is packing up to leave. So you can go there. The exhibit hall is not open as long, so you'd have to go a little earlier than you would probably the other days, but it's still really nice.
Okay, so you mentioned there's a ton of events to do.
Totally.
Just tell me, like Saturday or Friday or one of the days, what's an event you're looking forward to going to?
So I've done a lot of different events. This year I've got 1 day entirely dedicated to Star Wars Legion, because that's like one of my main games. So that's that like Napoleonic War game I was telling you about. That game takes like 2.5 hours to play 1 round. So I'm doing like a 3-round day. That's going to be like my whole day. I don't have anything else scheduled that day. It's going to be like 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. like long day.
That sounds brutal.
Yeah, it is.
That's
like
when
brutal.
you do the big game of D&D.
Don't sign yourself up for that for
and
the
you
first
have
convention.
to wait
Yes.
to do your turn. That sounds I mean, good for you. I'm glad you're gonna have fun. That sounds absolutely brutal. I will not do that.
Yeah, there's lots of other, but I also have some RPGs signed up, so I'm going to be playing Spirit of 77 there. I used to GM 7C games when I was there, so that was something else that we had that we like to do. There's also game companies that we love that we go to that do the like previews of new stuff that go there. There's also tons of just like side games. There's like social gatherings that people will just do. There's trinket trading. That they just started that last year.
It's like a big music concert thing. Is the trinket trading?
Yeah. And they just started doing that like officially as an event for the first time this year. It was an unofficial event last year, but now it's like its own event this year, and it's really cool. They also have like this massive, they call it Card Hollow, where you set up everyone sets up like this giant trading card like mural statue thing in one of the areas in the convention hall, and then they like tear it down at the end with everyone throws coins in it. It's like a huge charity thing, so they raise tons of money. Yeah, it's temporary art. It's for the weekend, so you gotta be there to enjoy it.
So don't bring like your Exodia.
No. Don't bring. This is they have the cards provided there already.
Oh,
so you can just go there at any point and just spend time building like your own little card tower or whatever, and it's just a massive community thing. It's really cool.
So again, it's basically end of the month / start of August.
Yes, so July 31st through August 3rd this year. We'll give the dates for next year when they announce them. But so that's in Indianapolis, Indiana. I would check it out. Just search Gen Con 2025. You will find it. And I think that's really all we have time for today. But
unfortunately, time flew by in the second half.
It always does. So next time we will actually have actually have gone to Gen Con by then. So the next time you see us, we will take all sorts of video, talk to all sorts of people, and we will share that experience with you. So go out and try an RPG today, or check out Gen Con, or at least wait for the next episode and check us out there. So
and again, we promise Sartaj should be secure.
And Sartaj will be back.
And happy birthday to Gary Gygax.
So in 2 days from when this episode launches, happy birthday, Gary Gygax.
Thanks for everything you guys have done. All right.
We'll see you guys.
See you.